Hey y'all, welcome back. So happy to have you back with me so we can talk about more stuff today. So, if you do not know me, my name is Isis and I am the founder and CEO of this company. Empower Mode is where I want you to become the absolute best version of yourself. So, today I really want to talk about the role of the eldest daughter in families. For anybody that's watching this and that's an eldest daughter, I'm sure you can understand everything that I'm about to talk about today because number one, I am an eldest daughter, so I can tell you so much about my experience. I'm not only the eldest daughter in my family, I'm the eldest granddaughter, I'm the eldest niece as well. So I have a lot of eldest daughter problems, aka the eldest daughter syndrome. And I felt very called to talk about that today because there's just so much I want to get off my chest. But I also want to be able to relate with y'all too because, like I said, I'm sure you've gone through the same things I've been through. And I want to hear about that. And let's have a conversation in the comments as well. Growing up in my family, there's 4 of us kids total. So like I said, I'm the eldest daughter. Before me, I have an older brother. So I'm number 2 out of 4. Then I have a sister younger than me, and then I have a younger brother. And I'll say growing up, I felt so much pressure from not only my family, but just society around me to be like this perfect person. If you're not an eldest daughter, you won't understand. You just won't, okay? Eldest daughters, come to the front. Come to the front of the class. Yes, going back to what I was saying, I have struggled so much with perfectionism in everyday aspects of my life. I've always been super hard on myself. I always felt like I've had to deliver and be somewhat of a shell of who I really am. And that's something I'm working through right now. And I'm realizing like I'm not this perfect person. No one's perfect in life. And life just doesn't work that way. I've been through so many different situations to help break that and that mindset and why I think this way. But just growing up, I felt so much responsibility on me. I mean, my mom would even tell me if my siblings did something, it was my fault. And I would have to take responsibility for that because it was my fault that they were doing something that they should not have done, which is insane. I just could not wrap my head around that as a child. I had a lot of pressure on me in school to perform and be like the best in everything that I did, especially academically. My dad always put a lot of pressure on me because I was not only like the first daughter, but I was his first biological child as well. And so for me, I always felt like I had to go to school and do as I was told, be the best student in class, make the perfect grades, get all A's. If I messed up, my dad made sure I was reprimanded at home. I felt like I was always punished for a lot of different things and I couldn't slip up like my other siblings could. Like in school, for instance, they could make bad grades and it was like, don't do it again kind of thing, but they didn't get in that much trouble compared to me. I felt that way personally. Maybe that wasn't the case, but I just always felt like there was no slack on me. I remember there was an instance where in high school, I think I had like a C on my report card and it was midterms. It wasn't even like the final grade that I was supposed to get for that quarter or that semester. My dad forced me to quit volleyball. I was on a JV team. I will never forget that. And I was literally crying, having to tell my coach at the time. And she was like, "What? Why is this happening?" I was like, "My dad, it's his fault. He hates my life and he just doesn't want me to do well, blah, blah, blah." In that moment, I learned like, wow, I just can't slip up. I just can't. Because if I do, I'm going to face a consequence. I'll say even with being the eldest daughter, it comes with a lot of emotional baggage as well because you feel like you have to protect everybody around you. And then as I've talked about with y'all in the first video about surrendering to silence, I have learned too that I'm a people pleaser because every time bad stuff happened at home, I would try to make everything feel better as well. So, yeah, I just have always felt like I've had to overprotect my siblings, my family, people around me, my friends in life. I'm always the person to give advice to about different things. In my family, I'm known as like the therapist of the family because everybody comes to me for advice. Even sometimes, like, I don't want to hear things and I've had to sit there and listen to it in the past. I'm saying all this because I'm learning that I don't have to do that, but I felt like I had to be that kind of person for my family. And now I'm starting to set very healthy boundaries, and I'm learning that's not normal for your parents to be arguing with each other and then calling me and trying to get me to be the middleman. That's very toxic behavior, and I don't do well with that. So I'm learning like to pick and choose my battles, be there for people. I can be a nurturer, but don't give too much of my energy, because if you give in to all those negative thoughts and negative environments, then you become that and you leech onto that, and you don't want to be like a stagnant person emotionally. So that's what I'm trying to work on, like really growing within myself over time and just learning to set boundaries, stop people pleasing and doing things because I'm the eldest daughter. Even I've struggled with people trying to help me and assist me when I know I need help. It took me so many years to go to therapy, and I needed it. I probably need it more than most people. You know, as an eldest daughter, it is like an inconvenience for you to ask someone for help. Like, they should already be able to read your mind. And that's why acts of service are like major for me, because I really want someone to be able to go do something for me without me having to fully tell them what I need. I obviously want it to be like a partnership. I want you to fill in or balance me out a little bit so I'm not like stressed out, overwhelmed. I also feel that, and I know that I am a manager of my family as well. Like, when we go on vacations or when we go out, I'm the one they tend to come to for the planning on like to-dos on what we're going to do on the vacation. I've always been like that growing up though, my whole life. I am very type A about certain things. Like, I like things to be by the book. There's some instances where I am type B, but I would say like overall, I like things to be a certain way. I'm also learning that I'm a little bit of a control freak with certain things too. And that's because I felt like I took a lot of responsibility on growing up. I remember it really hit me when I started having conversations with my mom about her childhood, how actually these things that I'm talking to y'all about were trickled down from her, because I learned she's also the eldest daughter in her family. And I learned from my grandmother. So my mom's mom is also the eldest daughter. So I've got a lot of messed up things that I'm trying to break. It's a lot of generational trauma. And I'm here to break that curse. So there's so much I'm learning throughout this journey in my life. And it's always going to be a work in progress. Nothing will always be perfect. So, yeah, I just wanted to get on here and vent and talk about my experience being the eldest daughter, eldest niece, eldest granddaughter. I've got eldest daughter syndrome to the core. And if you are also an eldest daughter, I just don't want you to put so much pressure on yourself. I'm learning myself that I am only one person. I can only do so much. I can't keep extending myself for other people. People have to meet me at least halfway. I'm just really learning over time that I have to reserve my energy and be in my soft girl era. I deserve that. And you do as well. So pull back. I know it's not easy for you to do that because you've been doing this your whole life. You're so used to the routine. It's hard to break habits when it's all that you know. And sometimes when you're the eldest daughter, you don't even realize you're doing it until somebody calls it out. So I beg you, please get some rest, slow down, and don't feel so much pressure on yourself. So I hope this resonated with someone out there. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. And I hope you check out empowermode.com if you need some help on your empowerment and self-discovery journey. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and don't forget to empower yourself and inspire others. Bye, y'all.